Hello, Sauce Fiends. Welcome back to Steve's Sauce Shack. I'm Steve, and today is time for a sauce showdown. These sauces may look familiar. You may have been part of the great internet storm of 2023 when Walmart had the $1 bin of hot sauces available. And this is everything I was able to find from there. Well, barring the barbecue sauces, but didn't bother with those. So, I'm just going to be trying these back to back. A brief note. As your body is exposed to a chemical compound, a drug, anything like that, repeated exposure in short periods of time, you experience less and less. So as I go down this list, I'm going to give you my tasting notes, thoughts on heat, but you will see little annotations for the heat level as I review these over the next couple days, because as I try these all back to back, by the time I get here, even if this was going to be a 5 here, it's probably going to taste more like a 3 on heat. So, do my best to give it a little time in between each, palate cleanse, all that good stuff, but you see the little annotations pop up, that's why. Without further ado, we're going to get into it. We'll start over here with the Melindas, and jump over here to Yellowbird, and then I actually hadn't heard of this brand before, but Tabanero. We'll give that one a try. I'll rank them by what I think is hottest, and just pick out a few of my favorites, explain why. Yeah, stick around, let's get into some sauces. So up first, this is the Melinda's Pizza Hot Sauce. So there's very vinegar forward and pepper forward. Those are the main two right off the bat that I'm getting. Heat-wise, they have it as a 1 out of 5 on their scale. Yeah, I'd say this is probably a 3 out of 10 on heat. Overall good flavor. I see pizza hot sauce, but with how vinegar forward it is and kind of acidic from that, I feel like it's kind of maybe going to stack a little too much with the acidity of the tomatoes on a pizza. So I don't know if that's the first thing I would use it on. Not one of my favorites right out of the gate, just because of how vinegar forward it is. I do like that it's very peppery. But we're going to move right along. So up next we have the Ghost Pepper Wing Sauce. Before we get to that, we're going to palate cleanse. The alternate name for this episode is going to be How Much Pickled Ginger Can Steve Eat Before He Vomits? I will probably spare you most of the ginger and some of the vomiting through the miracle of editing. Alright, we're moving along to the second sauce, the Ghost Pepper Wing Sauce from Melinda's. There's a nice kick. White vinegar, which comes through stronger than I expected. Maybe more so coming off that first sauce. But yeah, the habanero and cayenne, that's probably a 7 out of 10 on heat. Really good flavor profile. Nice saltiness to it. And I really like how that white vinegar plays with the rest of the flavors. That's a solid pick. That one might be coming back around. All right, up next, we have the fire roasted garlic and habanero. 4 out of 5 by their figuring on heat. Let's see what we got. So it's very textured from the pepper. There's just dried pepper chunks in there, which I was about to say I'm partial to, but they're now all up in my teeth. Overall, the flavor is good. It does seem kind of just like a dialed down version of the Ghost one there. And maybe a little more acidic than that one. That one was a little creamier. So not quite as hot, and a little more straightforward of a flavor profile, I would say. Probably a 5 out of 10 on heat. All right, up next we have Melinda's Sriracha hot chili sauce. Big Sriracha fan, but I have my own favorite, so we'll see what we think. Much lower on heat. They're just using jalapeno. little plain, not as much of a tangy garlic kick as I would expect from a Sriracha. It's a little tamer than I'd like. Definitely not replacing any of my favorite Sriracha rotations. I'd say a 3 out of 10 on heat. Not a bad flavor. Better than plenty of Srirachas I can think of, but not one of my top 3, I would say. But perfectly decent Sriracha. Price point wise, I'm not sure how it stacks up to other Srirachas. I think Melinda's sauces are normally somewhere in the $5-ish range. So if that's normally where your Sriracha taste lies, maybe give that one a shot. It's not bad. All right, up next from Melinda's, we have Habanero Honey Mustard. That sounds delightful. Very sweet and tangy. Mustard definitely running the show in terms of flavor profiles here. Heat-wise, it seems like it's coming in very low to me, but it could just be all adding up now. They list this as a 3 out of 5 by their figure. The onion actually comes through pretty strongly on this with the mustard, and that pairs nicely. The honey's a little muted. It is sweet, but it's not a... I don't necessarily get the distinct flavor of honey as strongly as I would expect from honey mustard. But pretty good overall. I'd say a 3 out of 10 on heat. Not so much a 3 out of 5. Very good. And lastly from Melinda's, we have green sauce. Spicy condiment of green tomatoes, jalapenos, spinach, cilantro, and garlic. Interesting. And this is a 1 out of 5, so not expecting much heat here. We have an uninvited guest. Would you like some? So lastly from Melinda's, we have green sauce, spicy condiment. They put it as a 1 out of 5 on heat. So I'm not expecting much of a kick here. I am curious though. I've not heard of this. Not sure how I feel about that if you're not picking up on that. The green tomatoes, very acidic. Yeah, not a lot of heat to this. 2 out of 10 on heat. But something about that's a little overwhelming in the palate. Could see this being good as maybe like some sort of pesto substitute or augment to pesto. But it does have that level of like savory, herby forwardness that I don't generally go around eating spoonfuls of pesto. So probably has some unique applications. Be curious to know if you've found a good use for it. Not very spicy, but not crazy about that one right off the bat. If you know of something or think of something to try it on, let me know in the comments. But yeah, like I said, kind of pesto reminiscent. All right, and we're moving right along to Yellowbird. So this is their Habanero hot sauce. It's a very sharp, kind of dry, vinegar-forward sauce. A little fruity, but it's mostly just vinegar to me. What fruit do they have coming through there? Tangerine juice and lime juice, so it's more acids. Heat-wise, I'd say probably a 6 out of 10. This one's definitely hitting the back of my throat more than the others, but not overwhelmingly so. All right, up next from Yellowbird, we have the Serrano hot sauce. That would have been a mess. I like that one a lot. Certainly way more than the previous one from Yellowbird, but very bright. Not as vinegar forward. Serrano, the actual flavor of the pepper is in there. And the cucumber's coming through a little bit as well. A little sweetness, yeah, still tangy from vinegar and citrus, but very, very good. Kind of like a verde sauce. quite nice. Not as spicy as the first one, probably a 4 out of 10 on heat, but really, really good flavor. Like that one a lot. Now, lastly, from Yellowbird, we have the blue agave sriracha, so another sriracha. I think there's a little more sour coming through on that than the Melinda's, and then in general, than most srirachas that I'm used to tasting. That might be coming from the tangerine juice that they're using in there. Again, not a bad flavor. I'd say I like the Yellowbird a little better than the Melinda's on that. The Melinda strikes me as a little sweeter and a little more straightforward of a flavor, whereas the Yellowbird, the sweetness is a little more subtle and it's just a little brighter to me. Heat-wise, still nothing crazy. 4 out of 10 on that. And moving on to the newcomer for me, at least, the Tabanero sauce. So this is their sweet and spicy sauce. Oh boy. We might have found the bottom of the bargain bin. It's very watery. It's probably a 1 out of 10 on heat. They don't, oh, there we go. Agave nectar. Yeah, there's just not much to that. It's sweet, watery, and I believe there's capsaicin in it. But we'll move on to the Tabanero Very Hot. See if that one maybe brings a little more to the table. Oh man. Tabanero is not a strong way to finish here. Again, very watery. Hotter. I'd say probably a 4 out of 10 on heat. But we're back in the pure vinegar flavor profile. So this is pretty much exactly what you would find on some sort of diner table. Just more watery. All right, well, we're just going to see it through at this point. Here's the original. Yeah, this is going to be a rough last 3 sauces here. So similar to this, and that the really vinegar is the only thing I'm picking up other than must. It's got a very musty overtone to it. Probably a 2 out of 10 on heat, and it is just not good. Now we're going to move on to the Tabanero Sriracha honey sauce. Another Sriracha enters the chat. Sriracha honey, though, so I don't really detect any resemblance to Sriracha. That definitely reads more barbecue sauce, both in texture and flavor. And clocking it at another 2 out of 10 for heat. Honestly, not as bad as the other 3 in this lineup, but it is just so sweet. It's a barbecue sauce, is what it is. And lastly, Tabanero Black Cherry. Oh man, I don't even like cherry flavor most of the time, so this is really ending on a high note. Oh my god. Oh, that's so sweet. It's everything I hate about artificial cherry flavors. I'm gonna go with a 0 out of 10 on heat. I think I have to give it a 1. I think I have to, because there's technically select habanero peppers. They selected the ones that didn't have capsaicin is what they did. But that is just a sickly sweet, like cherry soda situation. Whew. We made it. All right, so if I had to rank these, so the standouts, definitely these 2. Solid choices beyond that. This was quite nice. Slide these on down. This wasn't bad. This on its own, not so much, but could have some interesting application. And then of the Srirachas, this was certainly the leader. So really, I don't know that I would strongly say I would pick one or the other over each other on these two. This one, much hotter, but very different experience. Just a nice creamy hot ghost pepper wing sauce, and this closer to a verde, nowhere near as hot, but really bright, delicious flavor profile. So definitely check those two out. These, I've had honey mustards I like better. This was fine, decent, and this is a perfectly acceptable Sriracha. Nothing necessarily wrong with these four over here. Too much. Again, tell me what to do with him. I don't know. But thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you've tried any of these, what you thought, or what awesome Walmart bargain bins you were able to find. Let me know in the comments what other sauce showdowns you would like to see, which sauces should be going head to head. And then if you enjoyed this content, want to see more of it, please consider subscribing. Thanks for stopping by the shack, and I'll see you next time. All right, second sauce going in on the ghost pepper wing sauce by Melinda's.